As the gardening season comes to an end, many people assume the hard work is finally over. The vegetables have been harvested, flowers are fading, leaves are beginning to fall. And cooler nights remind us that winter is just around the corner. It might seem like the perfect time to put away your gardening tools and wait until spring. But experienced gardeners know something that beginners often overlook. The work you do now has a huge impact on what happens next year. A well-prepared garden survives winter. With fewer losses, healthier soil, stronger plants, and fewer pests waiting to cause problems. When temperatures rise again, skipping fall preparation can lead to damaged roots, frozen shrubs, compacted soil, diseases hiding in old leaves, and disappointing harvests months later. On the other hand, spending just a little time preparing your garden before winter creates the foundation for an easier, more productive growing season. Today we'll walk through every important step to protect your garden before cold weather arrives. Whether you grow vegetables, flowers, fruit trees, shrubs, or ornamental plants, these proven techniques will help everything survive the cold months and return stronger than ever. Let's begin with one of the biggest mistakes gardeners make every autumn. Many people rush to clean absolutely everything from the garden. Every leaf disappears. Every stem is cut. Every corner is left perfectly bare. While neat gardens look attractive, nature actually prefers a little mess. Beneficial insects often spend winter inside hollow stems. Pollinators hide beneath leaves. Small animals use natural debris as insulation. Removing everything at once may eliminate helpful wildlife that keeps your garden balanced. Instead, clean your garden thoughtfully. Remove diseased plants immediately. Any vegetables or flowers showing signs of fungal infection, mold, severe insect damage, or rot should never stay in the garden over winter. These problems often survive cold temperatures and return even stronger next spring. Healthy plant material, however, can often be composted or left as part of the natural ecosystem, depending on the plant. Next, remove weeds before they produce seeds. Even though temperatures are dropping, weeds continue growing much longer than many cultivated plants. If allowed to mature, they can spread thousands of seeds that remain dormant until spring. Pull them while the soil is still workable. Removing the roots now saves countless hours of weeding next season. Once weeds are gone, pay close attention to your soil. Healthy soil is the foundation of every successful garden. After months of supporting plant growth, soil has lost nutrients and organic matter. Autumn is the perfect opportunity to restore both. Spread compost across garden beds. There's no need to dig it deeply into the ground. Earthworms, rain, freezing temperatures, and natural soil organisms gradually pull nutrients downward throughout winter. By spring, much of the compost has already become available to young plants. If you don't have homemade compost, well-aged manure or quality leaf mold can also improve soil structure. Avoid using fresh manure immediately before winter, especially around vegetables. Fresh manure can burn roots and may introduce unwanted pathogens if not properly composted. Now let's talk about one of the most valuable winter protections available to gardeners: mulch. Many beginners underestimate how powerful a simple layer of mulch can be. Mulch works like a warm blanket for your soil. It slows temperature fluctuations, protects roots from repeated freezing and thawing, conserves moisture, reduces erosion, and improves soil as it gradually decomposes. Excellent mulch materials include shredded leaves, straw, wood chips, pine needles, bark, mulch, and compost. Apply mulch after the ground has cooled but before deep freezing begins. For most garden beds, 2 to 4 inches provides excellent protection. Trees and shrubs also benefit from mulch, but avoid piling it directly against trunks. This common mistake traps moisture around the bark, encouraging disease, insects, and rot. Instead, leave a small gap around the trunk and spread mulch outward in a wide circle. Now let's focus on one of the garden's most valuable investments: perennials. Unlike annual flowers, perennial plants return year after year. However, Each type requires slightly different winter preparation. Some perennials benefit from cutting back dead stems. Others should remain standing until spring because their stems protect the crown from freezing while also providing winter habitat for beneficial insects. Before cutting anything, learn the needs of each species rather than treating every plant the same way. If you're unsure, leaving stems until spring is often the safer choice. Speaking of protection, let's discuss watering. Many gardeners stop watering as soon as temperatures begin dropping. This can be a serious mistake. Plants continue using water long after summer ends. Trees, shrubs, and evergreens especially need adequate moisture before the ground freezes. Solid, dry roots are much more vulnerable to winter injury than well-hydrated ones. Continue watering deeply during dry autumn weather until freezing temperatures become consistent. Deep watering encourages stronger root systems and helps plants withstand cold winds. Throughout winter, container plants deserve even more attention. Roots inside pots experience much colder temperatures than roots growing directly in the ground. The surrounding soil provides natural insulation, while containers expose roots to freezing air from every direction. If possible, move pots into a protected garage, shed, greenhouse, or sheltered location. If containers remain outdoors, wrap them with insulating material or group several pots together to reduce heat loss. Another important task involves your lawn. Many homeowners stop mowing too early. Grass continues growing well into autumn. Continue mowing until growth naturally slows. For the final mowing, slightly reduce the cutting height without scalping the lawn. Grass that's too long may become matted under snow, encouraging fungal diseases. Grass that's too short has less protection against winter damage. The final cut should strike a healthy balance. While caring for the lawn, remove thick layers of fallen leaves. A light covering can remain temporarily, but dense mats block sunlight, trap excessive moisture, and create ideal conditions for disease. Instead of throwing leaves away, shred them and use them as mulch or compost ingredients. Those autumn leaves are one of the most valuable free resources your garden can receive. Now let's turn our attention to fruit trees, one of the most valuable parts of many home gardens. A healthy fruit tree doesn't simply survive winter, it prepares for next year's harvest long before spring arrives. Start by removing any fruit that remains hanging on the branches or lying beneath the tree. These forgotten apples, pears, plums, or peaches may seem harmless, but they often become shelters for fungal diseases and overwintering insects. Leaving them behind increases the chance of problems returning as soon as temperatures rise. Next, inspect the tree carefully. Look for broken branches, signs of disease, cracked bark, or limbs damaged during the growing season. Avoid heavy pruning late in autumn. Major pruning encourages new growth that won't have enough time to harden before freezing weather. Instead, remove only dead, damaged, or clearly diseased branches. Save structural pruning for late winter or early spring, depending on the type of tree. Young trees need extra protection during their first few winters. Their bark is thinner and more vulnerable to freezing temperatures, strong sunlight, and hungry wildlife. Installing a tree guard around the lower trunk helps protect against rabbits, mice, and other animals that chew bark during winter when food becomes scarce. In areas with intense winter sunlight, wrapping young trunks can also reduce winter sunscald, a condition where daytime warmth followed by freezing nighttime temperatures causes bark to crack. Now let's talk about shrubs and evergreen plants. Unlike deciduous plants, evergreens continue losing moisture throughout winter, even while the ground remains frozen. Cold winds can dry out needles and leaves faster than roots can replace the lost water. This is why watering deeply before winter arrives is so important. For sensitive evergreens, especially newly planted ones, consider using burlap screens on the windy side rather than wrapping the entire plant tightly. The goal is to reduce drying winds while still allowing good air circulation. Completely wrapping plants in plastic is usually a mistake. Plastic traps moisture, encourages fungal problems, and can cause overheating during sunny winter days. Breathable materials provide much better protection. Now let's move into the vegetable garden. Many gardeners simply harvest the last vegetables and walk away until spring. But a few additional steps can dramatically improve next year's soil health. After removing finished crops, clear away diseased plants first. Healthy plant material can often be composted, but never compost plants heavily infected with blight, mildew, or other serious diseases unless your compost pile consistently reaches temperatures high enough to destroy pathogens. If your vegetable beds are empty early enough, consider planting a cover crop. Cover crops such as winter rye, clover, or hairy vetch help prevent soil erosion, suppress weeds, improve soil structure, and add valuable organic matter. Their roots also keep soil life active throughout much of the colder season. When spring arrives, these cover crops can be cut down and incorporated into the soil or used as natural mulch. If planting a cover crop isn't practical, simply covering bare soil with compost and mulch is still far better than leaving it exposed all winter. Bare soil suffers from erosion, nutrient loss, and repeated freezing cycles that reduce its structure. Speaking of soil health, autumn is also the perfect time to test your soil. Many gardeners wait until spring, but testing in fall provides plenty of time to make adjustments. If the results show that your soil needs lime to raise its pH, autumn applications give it several months to work before planting season begins. Likewise, certain mineral amendments benefit from being added well before spring growth starts. Healthy soil chemistry makes nutrients more available, resulting in stronger plants with fewer deficiencies. Now let's discuss bulbs. Spring flowering favorites like tulips, daffodils, crocuses, hyacinths, and alliums all need a period of winter cold before they bloom. Autumn is the ideal planting season. Choose a sunny location with well-drained soil. Plant bulbs at a depth approximately 2 to 3 times their height. After planting, water thoroughly to help roots begin establishing before the ground freezes. Adding mulch after planting helps moderate soil temperatures and reduces frost heaving during winter. While bulbs prepare underground, don't forget about your garden tools. Many people finish gardening and simply place tools in the shed until next year. Unfortunately, dirty tools rust faster, spread diseases, and become harder to use. Take a little time to clean each tool thoroughly. Remove soil from shovels, hoes, pruners, and trowels. Sharpen cutting tools before storing them. Apply a light coat of oil to metal surfaces to reduce rust. Wooden handles also benefit from occasional treatment with linseed oil to prevent drying and cracking. Your future self will appreciate having clean, sharp tools ready on the first warm day of spring. Garden hoses require attention too. Before freezing temperatures arrive, disconnect hoses completely. Drain all remaining water. Water left inside can freeze, expand, and damage both the hose and outdoor faucets. If you use irrigation systems, follow the recommended winterization procedure for your climate. Frozen pipes can become an expensive spring surprise. Greenhouses and cold frames should also be inspected before winter. Repair damaged panels, seal unnecessary gaps, and make sure doors close securely. Good ventilation remains important even during winter to reduce excess humidity and fungal problems. If snow is common in your area, periodically remove excessive accumulation from greenhouse roofs to prevent structural damage. Finally, remember that not every fallen leaf is a problem. Shredded leaves make one of the best natural mulches available. They improve soil, feed earthworms, retain moisture, and slowly release nutrients as they break down. Instead of sending leaves away as waste, recycle them directly back into your garden. Nature has already created an excellent soil amendment, completely free. As winter approaches, one final garden walk can make all the difference. Move slowly through every bed, pathway, and planting area. Look at your garden from the perspective of the coming season rather than the one that's ending. Are there loose supports that could be damaged by winter storms? Are climbing plants securely tied? Could heavy snow break weak branches? A few minutes of careful inspection now may prevent hours of repairs later. If you use stakes, tomato cages, or trellises, clean them before storing them away. Soil and plant debris can harbor fungal spores, bacteria, insect eggs, and other pests. Washing and drying garden supports before storage helps reduce disease pressure next season. Now is also an excellent time to label plants. Many perennial flowers disappear completely during winter, making it surprisingly easy to forget where they were planted. Durable plant markers prevent accidental digging when spring planting begins. Autumn is also the perfect season to take notes. Which tomato variety produced the best harvest? Which flowers attracted the most pollinators? Which garden bed struggled with drainage? Which vegetables suffered from pests? Keeping a simple garden journal allows you to improve your results year after year instead of relying on memory. If you divide perennials, record where each new plant has been moved. This makes future maintenance much easier. Another often overlooked task is protecting wildlife while protecting your garden. Birds, beneficial insects, frogs, and pollinators all play important roles in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. Leaving a small pile of branches in a quiet corner of the yard can provide valuable shelter for wildlife during winter. Likewise, not every flower head needs to be removed immediately. Many seed heads provide natural food for birds throughout the colder months while also adding beautiful texture to the winter landscape. A balanced garden supports both plants and the creatures that help them thrive. If heavy snowfall is common where you live, gently brush snow from delicate shrubs after major storms. Use an upward sweeping motion rather than pushing branches downward, which can cause them to snap. Never try to remove ice by striking branches. Ice-covered limbs become extremely brittle and can break easily. In most cases, it's best to let ice melt naturally. Throughout winter, avoid walking repeatedly across frozen lawns. Frozen grass blades break more easily, and compacted soil reduces oxygen available to roots. Waiting until the ground softens in spring helps keep your lawn healthier. One of the biggest gardening lessons is learning that healthy gardens are built over time. Every season connects to the next. The compost you spread today becomes tomorrow's fertile soil. The mulch you apply now protects roots through months of freezing temperatures. The weeds you remove this autumn won't compete with young seedlings next spring. The tools you clean today will be ready the moment gardening season begins again. These small tasks may not seem dramatic on their own, but together they create a garden that grows stronger every year. Remember, winter isn't the end of the gardening season. It's a period of rest, recovery, and preparation. Beneath the surface, roots continue developing, soil organisms remain active whenever temperatures allow, and nature quietly prepares for another cycle of growth. By giving your garden the care it needs before winter arrives, you're not just protecting plants from the cold. You're investing in healthier flowers, stronger vegetables, more productive fruit trees, richer soil, and a far more enjoyable gardening season when spring finally returns. The effort you make today will reward you for months to come. Thank you for watching. If you found these winter garden preparation tips helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more practical gardening advice throughout the year. We'd also love to hear from you. What's the one fall gardening task you never skip before winter? Share your experience in the comments below. Happy gardening, stay warm, and we'll see you in the next video.